Love.
Ay, Mario. La Yashala. Mario, Wafan Yah Hakwadam, which means rise and face the east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew, then in the English. The Lord's Prayer, Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Ayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malak Wafka. Taba'ah. Atazaka. Ayah. Aisha. Na'aratiza. Mawat. Ayah. Shemayim. Nathanaw. To come. Call. Yawam. Wasalakanaw. Kawatanaw. Kasalakanaw. Kabawafyanaw. Wala'ah. Tabi'aynaw. Wanasay one. Ball. Ayushaynaw. Ayan. Ride. Kaya. Ka. Amalakwa. Waha'alam. Waha'thapa'arah. Abalam. Aman. In the English, our Father. Which art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. And will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. Forgive us our debt. As we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. This is the power. Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahushua. Babakushah. Nathanaw. Hakat. Garpa'ah. Kol Maka'alah. Kol Madawah. Hakat. Atahar. Hamatazarayah. Hakat. Lahakbiya. Amathia. Hakat. Arakawah. Hatama'alah. Agarashan. Ba'ashim Yahushua. The water Aman. And in the English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Please give us the power. Power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the leper. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirit. Cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. This is blessed Israel. Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahushua. Baraklanau. Yasha'ala. Wahabayah. Sapari. Barak. Magan. Ba'ashim Yahushua. The water Aman. In the English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Bless us. And Israel. And the school. Bless. Heal. Shield. Protect. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. This is the blessings. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahushua. Wa Mayaka'ala. Wa'alahayim. Matazabya. Alawap Yahan. Hasaranyim. Akwatazayanyim. Akayayoyim. Waha'akwatiyim. Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahushua. The water Aman. And in the English, bless you Yahweh. And Yahushua. And Michael. And the angels. Man and General Yohan. The general. The captain. Officer. Troop. And the sister. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. This is Psalms 121. Aisha. Ayanya. Ahahari. Ma'ayan. Yaba'ah. Isaiah. Ma'ayin. Yahweh. Aisha. Shemayam. Wa'aratiza. Ayathan. Lamawat. Nagolka. Ayyanawam. Shamar. Hana. La'ah. Yanawam. Wala'ah. Yishan. Shawamar. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shamarka. Yahweh. Tazolka. Alyan. Yamyaka. Ashamash, La'ah, Yakakah, Wayarah, Waliyalab, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Korah, Yashamar, Athnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'aka, Wawaka, Mayatha, Wa'ai, Aman.
In the English, I will lift up my eyes into the hill.
I will lift up my eyes into the hill.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh.
Which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee, will not slumber.
Will not slumber.
Behold,
he
that keepeth Israel,
so
neither slumber nor sleep.
neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
Yahweh shall preserve thee
from all
from
evil.
all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out,
Yahweh shall preserve thy going
and
out,
thy coming in,
and thy coming in,
from this time
from
forth,
this time forth,
even forevermore.
even forevermore.
So be it.
So be it. This is Psalms 83. Alahayim.
Elohim,
Adam Yalaka.
Adam Yelaka,
Al-Thakarash.
Al-Thakarash,
Al-Thashaqwa.
Al-Thashakwat,
Al. Kiyahana.
Kiyahana,
Al-Yabyaka.
Al-Yabyaka,
Bahama Yawan.
Nahama Yawan,
Al-Mashanayaka.
Wishanayaka,
Al-Sha'awa.
Esha'awa,
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash,
Al-Aimaka.
Al-Imaka,
Al-Aryamwa.
Ya'ariyamwa,
Subwan.
Sawat,
Wayataya'at Tazawwa.
where you throw your eyes as well,
Al-Tazapawanyaka.
Al-Tazapawanyaka,
Marwa.
Amarwa,
Lakawa.
Kawa,
Winakaki.
Winakaki,
Magoya.
Magoya,
Wala'ah.
Ula'ah,
Yazakar.
Issachar,
Sham Yasha'al.
Sham Yasha'al,
Aiwa.
Aiwa,
Kiyah.
Kiyah,
Nawa'ai Tazawwa.
where eyes as well,
La.
La,
Yakagwa.
Yakagwa,
Ayaka.
Ayaka,
Raya.
Riyah,
Yakarath.
Karat,
Maholia.
Ahoy,
Alawam.
Adawam,
Wayashama'a Aliyam.
when Shema'ai Aliyam,
Mawa'aba.
Ma'ala,
Mahagar.
Mahagarian,
Gabor.
Gabar,
One.
I'm one,
Mamalak.
I'm a lot,
Balashah.
for the shot,
And
and
Yashabi.
Yeshabia,
There's a war.
because of war,
Gum Ashawar.
Gum, Ashawar,
Alawar.
Nalawab,
Imam.
Amam,
Ayawar.
Ayawab,
Zariwai.
Nawawai,
Nabunya Lawat.
Bunny of Lawat,
Salah.
Salam,
Aishalaham.
Ashalaham,
Kamadi.
Kamani,
That's a Yasara'ah.
Kasi Yasira'ah,
Yabi.
Kuyabi,
Wanakol.
Wanakol,
Wayashma.
Kurashma,
Shemawa.
Lishmanwa,
Ayanda Ara.
Ayanda, Aram,
Ayawa.
Ayawa,
Daman.
Daman,
Adama.
Adama,
Shayatamba.
Shayitama,
The Yapwa.
Yabawa,
Kaira.
Karab,
Because of Abba.
because of Abba,
Because of Bak.
because of Bat,
Because of Zolmanai.
because of Zalmanat,
Calling us say
I'm going
Yakamba.
to say Kamwa,
Ashar.
Ashar,
Amarwa.
Amarwa,
Naya Rashad.
Nay Rashad,
Nanawa.
Anawab,
Ah. Na'awa.
Anawab,
Alahayim.
Alahayim,
Alahayim.
Alahayim,
Shayatamba.
Shayitama,
Kagaga.
Agogo,
Kakwash.
Kwash,
The Punya Rakar.
Punny Rakar,
Ka'ash.
Ash,
The Ba'ira Ya'ira.
Ira,
Wakala Ahaba.
look at Haba,
Salahat.
Salahat,
Haryam.
Hari,
Khan.
Kam,
The Radatma.
Radat,
Masa Iraka.
Iraka,
What was a
what
pocket?
was the Pasca,
Double Halam.
Alam,
Mala'ah.
Allah,
Punyaham.
when you hum,
Balawan.
Balawan,
Wayibakwashwa.
Kwash,
Shimka.
Shimka,
Yahawa.
Yahawa,
Yabashwa.
Bash,
Wayibaholwa.
Behold,
Aydi'ai.
Ai,
Wayiparwa.
Parwa,
Wayabadwa.
Ababa,
Wayida'aiwa.
Iowa,
Kaya.
Kaya,
Atha.
Athar,
Shimka.
Shimka,
Yahawa.
Yahweh,
Nabadka.
Baka,
Ayawan.
Ayawan,
Alkor.
Alkal,
Haratazah.
Zaratza,
Aman.
Aman, in the English, keep not thy silence in your house,
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
hold not thy peace,
Hold not thy peace.
and be not still in your house,
Be not still, O Yahweh.
for lo,
For lo,
thy enemies make atonement,
thy enemies make a tumult.
and they that hate thee,
They that hate thee
have lifted up the head,
have lifted up the head.
and taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people,
against thy people,
and consulted against thy
and
hidden.
consulted against thy hidden one.
They have
They
said,
have said,
come,
Come,
let us cut them off,
let us cut them
from
off,
being a nation,
be in the nation.
that the name of
In
Israel
the name of
may
Israel,
be no more remembered.
we no more remember.
They have consulted together,
They have consulted
with
together
one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against
They are
thee,
confederate against thee.
tabernacles of Edom,
Tabernacles of Edom
and the
and
Israelites,
the Ishmaelites,
of Moab,
Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
Hagarenes,
Gabal,
Paul,
Ammon,
Ammon,
and Amalek,
Amalek,
Philistine,
Philistine,
with the inhabitants of
the
Tyre.
inhabitants of Tyre.
Action is also joined with them.
Actually, also is
They have hope in the children of
They
Lot.
have hope for the children of
Salah.
Lot.
Do
Salah.
unto them
Do it to them.
as unto the Midianites.
As unto the
It's
Midianites.
to Sarah,
To Sisera.
it's to Jabin,
To
and
Jabin.
the brook of
And
Kasam,
the brook of
which
Kasam.
perished at Endor.
Which perished at
They
Endor.
became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red,
And they know it's like a red.
and like
And
Zaed.
like Zaed.
Yea,
Yea.
all the princes,
All their
and
princes.
Zabah,
As a bow.
and the Zamun,
And as a moon.
who said,
Who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the house of Yahweh in possession.
the house of Yahweh in possession.
On my power,
On my power.
make them like a wheel,
Make them like a
as
wheel.
a stubble before the wind,
Stuff before the wind.
as a fire burning the wood,
As a fire burning for
and as
wood.
the flames set the mountains on
As the
fire.
flames set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
Persecute them
with thy tempest,
with thy tempest.
make them afraid
Make them afraid.
with thy storm,
Thy storm.
fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame.
and they may seek thy
That they
name.
may seek thy
O
name.
Yahweh,
O Yahweh.
let them be
Let
confounded
them be
and
confounded.
trouble forever.
Trouble forever.
Yea,
Yea.
let them be put to shame
Let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish.
that men may know
That we may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the Most High
art the most high
over all the earth,
of all the earth.
so be it.
So be it.
These are the curses. Blessed are ye Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and earth,
and all things living.
and all things living.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh Shah.
in the name of Yahweh,
Listen to us now.
listen to his name.
Right now.
Right now.
See, evils and curses,
Say evils and curses,
punishment and destruction
punishment and destruction
to the heathen
to the heathen
that speak against
that
us,
speak against
by
us,
prophets,
like prophets,
the teachers,
the teachers,
the princes,
the princes,
the priests,
the priests,
the Israelite
the
brothers,
Israelite brothers,
and the school.
and the schools.
Send evils and curses,
Say evils and curses,
punishment and destruction
punishment and destruction
to the heathen,
to the heathen,
and shake loose the treasure
and shake loose the treasure
of the rich of Israel,
of the rich of
and
Israel,
refuse to give to the school,
refuse to give to the school,
force their riches
force their riches,
to enter that
to
sanctuary.
enter into thy
Send
sanctuary.
evils and curses,
Say evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction
punishment and
to
destruction
the Edomites,
to the Edomites,
and the nation,
and the nation,
and their drug
and
dealers,
drug
the
dealers,
court
the
system,
court system,
prison system,
prison system,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
all the governments of our enemies,
all the governments of our enemies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Amalek synagogues and all,
Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church,
Pope,
the Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Egyptology,
Egyptology,
militia,
militia,
Ku Klux Klan,
Ku Klux Klan,
Aryan Nation,
Aryan Nation,
skinheads,
skinhead,
Hasi Kamatata,
Hasi Kamatata,
gay movement,
the gay movement,
the gay movement,
the gay movement,
the lesbian
the
movement,
lesbian movement,
the lesbian
the
movement,
lesbian movement,
spies,
spies,
workers of witchcraft,
workers of witchcraft,
NASA space program,
NASA space program,
Army,
Army,
Navy,
Navy,
Air Force,
Air Force,
Marine,
Marines,
Wall Street,
Wall Street,
open up the internet
open up the internet,
and the airways,
and the airways,
cable access channel,
cable access
and the
channel,
radio channel,
and the radio channel,
convict the spirit
convict the
of
spirit
any of thy people
of any of thy people
that seek to stop
that
us
seek to stop
and
us,
bring swift destruction
and bring swift
to
destruction
all the heathen
to all the
that
heathen
stand in the way,
that stand in the way,
trying to stop
or
us
try to stop us
from broadcasting your
from
word
broadcasting your
throughout
word
the planet Earth.
throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the
Let
plague.
loose all the plague.
Let loose all the
Let
plague.
loose all the
Cause
plague.
them to go to and
Cause
fro
them to go to and fro
through the earth
through the earth
and consume them.
and consume
Let
them.
the plague
Let the
take
plague
the house of the thief
take the house of the thief
and the murder.
and the murder.
Let Yahweh Shah,
Let Yahweh Shah,
Michael and Gabriel
Michael and Gabriel
come down with the flying
come
sauce.
down with the flying sword.
Punish all the heathen
Punish all
that
the
come
heathen
up against us
that come up against
as we
us
speak thy word.
as we speak thy
Cause
word.
it be known
Cause it be known
by all
by all
that is the angel
that is the angel
that have done.
that have done it.
Cause it be spread
Cause it be
through
spread
the media
through the media
throughout the whole
throughout
world.
the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause them to shake as they come.
In the
In
name of Yahweh
the
Shah,
name of Yahweh Shah,
thank you always.
thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
Sar, which means to turn. Yeshavian. Yeshab, which means to return, dwell, or sit. Right. Last time we were talking about how we're in the book of, Shalom, Israel. We're in the book of 2 Samuel, and we're going to start in verse 8 today, chapter 8, and we're going to be reading verses 14 through 18 and 9, 1 through 2. But let's do a little quick recap. Last time we saw that the Most High had made a covenant with David and said that he would establish his kingdom with his son. And we know that was ultimately talking about Yahushua. And he said that the house of David would stand forever. And we know that cuts the virgin birth theory because the seed had to come through the line of David. And so if you look through going all through the line, Joseph came from the line of David. And so Mary could not just have accidentally been pregnant because Matthew talks about Joseph's line and how Joseph got here. So Joseph was next in line. And then after that, he impregnated Mary to have Yahushua. So that's what we were talking about last time. Today we're going to see, we're going to continue David's story as David has been established king over all of Israel. And today we're going to show how brotherly David could be and the kindness that he shows towards his brother, towards the Akim. So we're going to go through and look through that today. All right. We're going to start off in 2 Samuel 8, 14 through 18, and then chapter 9, 1 through 2. We always read it in the Hebrew first, and then in the English. Of course, Hebrew is the Lashon Kodash. It's the holy tongue. It's the separate tongue. So we're going to start off there. 2 Samuel 8, verse 14. 2 Samuel 8, verse 14 in the Hebrew. Vayasham b'hadawam natazabium b'kal adawam sham natazabium v'yahaya kal adawam ibadium ladawadav v'yawashai Yahweh Dawadav b'kal ashar halak. Verse 15. V'yamalak Dawadav al kal Yasha'ala v'yahaya Dawadav Aisha v'shapat v'tazad kwa lakal Imra. Verse 16. V'yawab ban Tazar Waya, Al, Hatazab, Hatazabaa, Waya Ha Shapat, Ban, Ach Yo Lawat, Wad, Mazakyar. Verse 17, Wataza the Wak, Bun, Akyo Tawad, Kayo Malak, Bun, Abayathar, Kahanyam, Washarya, so Apar. Verse 18, Oyabun Yahweh, Bun, Yahweh, Waha Karathia, Waha Palathia, Wabunya, Dawada, Kahanyam, Hayawa. It's the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 9, reading verses 1 through 2. Wayamar, Dawada, Hakaya, Yash, Iwad, Ashar, Nawathar, Labayath, Shawal, Aisha, Imwa, Kasad, Ba'ibawar, Yahawanathan. Verse 2. Bayath, Shawal, Ibad, Washamwa, Taza Yaba'a, Wayakora Awa, Lawa, Al, Dawada, Wayamar, Hamalak, Al Yawa, Tha, Taza Yaba'a, Wayamar, Ibadka, and that's it.
And we're going to be reading 2 Samuel chapter 8, verses 14 through 18 in the English. 2 Samuel chapter 8, verse 14. And he put garrisons in Edom, throughout all Edom, put he garrisons, and all they of Edom became David's servants. And the Most High preserved David whithersoever he went. Verse 15. And David reigned over all Israel, and David executed judgment and justice unto all his people.
I'll slap yourself on that. Verse 4, if you want to go back to verse 14, he said he put garrisons in Edom, throughout all Edom, he put garrisons, and all they of Edom became David's servants. This is going to happen in the kingdom when Yahweh shall return. It says, and all of Edom became David's servants. All Edom and Esau, they're going to be Yahweh shall's servants before they're completely taken out. They're going to become the servants. And so this shows exactly what's going to happen when Yahweh shall return.
It's like, and that's not indentured servants. That's in captivity. You feel me?
Come.
Verse 16. Hey, let me get some of them frankincense too. Verse 16. And Joab, the son of Zeruiah, was over the host, and Jehoshaphat, the son of Ahilud, was recorder. Verse 17. And Zadok, the son of Ahitub, and Ahimelech, the son of Abiathar, were the priests, and Sarah was the scribe. Verse 18. And Benai, the son of Jehoiada, was over both the Cherethites and the Pelethites, and David's sons were chief rulers. 2 Samuel chapter 9, verse 1. And David said, is there yet any that is left of the house of Saul, that I may show him kindness for Jonathan's sake?
You see David right here is being very brotherly. He didn't forget the covenant that Jonathan had made with him. When Jonathan was yet alive. We know Jonathan died and along with his father and all of his brothers. So that pretty much David's throne could be established and set up. And we know the kindness that Jonathan showed to David, even when he was in a bind per se, because that was his own father. But we saw that I think that Jonathan knew that David was chosen by the Most High.
2 Samuel chapter 9, verse 2. And there was of the house of Saul a servant whose name was Ziba. And when they had called him unto David, the king said unto him, art thou Ziba? And he said, thy servant is he. That's it.
And I wanted to add in, if I may, sir, a precept of why Jonathan had the attitude he had, because Jonathan understood. See, this is what Christ also even said, that and I don't want to slap so correctly. I might be missaying it, but I know the context. When he said that he who follows me must hate his father, mother, brother, and sister in order to be my disciple,
Right.
which means that, the Most High has to come first. Oh,
Yeah. You want to grab that?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to this.
God.
We in 2 Samuel chapter 9, verses 4. Starting in verse 4. 4 through 10. 2 Samuel chapter 9. It's like verse 3 through 9. 2 Samuel chapter 9, verse 3. Wayamar, Hamalak, Ha'apas, Aywad, Ayash, Labiyah, Sha'awal, Aisha, Aimwa, Kasad, Alahayim, Wayamar, Taziyaba, Al, Hamalak, Aywad, Bun, Layahawa Nathan, Nafka, Regalium, verse 4. Wayamar, Lawa, Hamalak, Ayapa, Hawa'a.
He's going to pick up something.
Wayamar, Tazayaba, Al, Hamalak, Hana, Hawa'a, Bayah, Makayar, Bun, Amaya'al, Balawa, Debar, verse 5. Wayashalak, Hamalak, Dawada, Wayakwakhawa, Mabaya, Makayar, Bun, Amaya'al, Malawa, Debar, verse 6. Let's go to 9, right?
Come.
What? Wayaba'a, Mapaya, Mapayabash, Mapayabashah,
Come.
Bun, Yahweh Nathan, Bun, Sha'awal, Al, Dawada, Wayapal, Al, Punyawa, Wayashathakwa, Wayamar, Dawada, Mapaya Bashah, Mapaya, what's that right?
Come. It's my Fibasheth. Bashah. Yeah. Bashah.
Wayamar, Hana, Ibadak, verse 7.
Also,
It's like Ibadka, the what? Verse 7. Wayamar, Lawa, Dawada, Al, the Yara'a, Kaya, Aisha, Aisha, Aimka,
Yeah. Gotcha.
Aimka, Kasad, Ba'iba War, Yahweh Nathan, Abiaka, Abiyak,
No, yeah, Abiyaka.
Abiyaka, the what? Wahashabathia, Laka, Kal, Shada, Sha'awal, Abiaka, Wa'atha, the Akal, Lakam, Al, Shalakanya, Damayad, verse 8. Wayashathakwa, Wayamar, Maha, Ibadka, Kaya, Panaya, Al, Hakalab, Hama, Bashar, Kamawanya, verse 9. Wayakora'ah, Hamalak, Al, Taziyaba, Na'ir, Shawal, Wayamar, Alyawa, Kal, Ashar, Haya, Lasha Awal, Lasha Awal, Lasha Awal, Walakal, Bayathwa, Nathathya, Laban, Adunyaka, and that's it. We're going to be reading 2 Samuel chapter 9, verses 3 through 9 in the English. 2 Samuel chapter 9, verse 3. And the king said, is there not yet any of the house of Saul that I may show the kindness of God, the Most High unto him? And Ziba said unto the king, Jonathan have yet a son, which is lame on his feet. Verse 4, and the king said to him, where is he? And Ziba said unto the king, behold, he is in the house of Machir, the son of Amiel, in Lodabar. Verse 5, then King David sent and fetched him out of the house of Machir, the son of Amiel, from Lodabar. Verse 6, hey, Shalom, what's going on? Verse 6, now when Mephibosheth, the son of Jonathan, the son of Saul, was coming to David, he fell on his face and did reverence. And David said, Mephibosheth, and he answered, behold thy servant. I'll call him up. Verse 7, he said to him, fear not, for I will surely show thee kindness for Jonathan thy father's sake, and will restore thee all the land of Saul thy father, and thou shalt eat bread at my table continually. Verse 8, and he bowed himself and said, what is thy servant, that thou shouldest look upon such a dead dog as I am? Verse 9, then the king called to Ziba, Saul's servant, and said unto him, I have given unto thy master's son all that pertains to Saul and to all his house.
Excellent. Now, if you wanted to review real quick for the our people just arrived late. So last week we were showing why the virgin birth is a false narrative, and why the virgin birth is a lie. Because the Christian church will teach that Mary magically got pregnant, and we showed last week that was a lie, because we showed that the Most High established the kingdom of David and said that, I will establish your son, which he was talking about, Yahushua, Christ, shall build a house, and I'll establish his kingdom forever. That had to come from David's line. So that couldn't have been a magical pregnancy. Okay. And now we're seeing today, we're going over today, that after David has been established as king, we're seeing the brotherhood of David and the kindness that he is showing to the house of Saul, because of Jonathan's sake. We know how David and Jonathan were great friends, and Jonathan pretty much was kind to David and was brotherly to David, even though his father rebelled against him. And the precept we just went over was how that this is something that Christ was reiterating, that you cannot be Christ's disciple if you do not hate your father, mother, brother, or sister, which means that you have to follow the Most High first, but more before anything. And Jonathan showed that by not going against David, because he knew the Most High had established his throne, and David's throne. And so, even though that the Most High established David's throne over Saul, David is still being brotherly and giving an opportunity for Jonathan's son to sit at his table forever. And that is the love that David has shown, because David did not have to do that, but it shows that what type of spirit David was in. He did that for the sake of his brother Jonathan, for his friend Jonathan, because Jonathan and him made a covenant. And it shows that if you make a covenant with somebody, you're not supposed to forget it. And David did not forget that covenant. It was a bad for you. Okay. And so it shows that, part of being brotherly is to remember the covenant that you made. All right?
And if I could too, just to add on, like what David did, David went and found anybody that was from the house of Saul. You see what I'm saying? Anybody that was left over from the house of Saul, he said, bring them here, and I'm going to show them kindness just because of my relationship with Jonathan. You see what I'm saying? And when he found somebody, of the house of Saul, what he did was he said, come on, I'm going to give you all the land that was Saul's. You see what I'm saying? That's how you actually show. Like, David wasn't saying it just in tongue. He actually showed it by his actions. He actually gave that man land, let him eat at his table and stuff like that. You feel me? And that's how you actually do things. You feel me? When our oppressor, when he supposedly freed us from slavery, you see what I'm saying? What did we get? We got sharecropping.
God.
You understand? We became, you know, this is a better form of slavery now than it was back then, because we don't think we slaves. You see what I'm saying? But when the Jewish man, you understand, he gave him land. You know, so it shows you that our oppressor don't he's saying certain things with us, but it's in tongue only. It's not with deed, you feel me? And what you see here is David not only showing love to the house of Saul, you know, with his tongue, but he's doing it by his actions. You see what I'm saying?
Con. And that's actually a precept. That's actually a precept. I think it's in 1 John 3:18. Little children, let us not love in word or in speech, but in deed and in truth.
Right.
So that's a precept to him. So you're supposed to love in word, and by not just word, but also in deed.
Right.
All right. We're in 2 Samuel. We're in 2 Samuel chapter 9. And we're going to pick up at verse 10. All right. We're in 2 Samuel chapter 9. We're going to pick up at verse 10. And we're going to read, we always read stuff in the Hebrew first. You know, so that, and listen, we also do, there's Hebrew classes that people can access on. Slacking.
I went to one last night
online. Come.
Because they had these things 11.
Come, the Lasha One Kodash class, and that's the Holy Tongue, and it's on Friday nights. And if you want to ask any questions, please ask one of us, because the goal is for us to get back to our native tongue. My goal is for the younger generation to just be speaking it fluently. All right, let's go back. We're in 2 Samuel chapter 9. We're in verse 10. Chapter 9, starting in verse 10. We're going to read it. We're going to read in the Hebrew verse, then in the English. 2 Samuel chapter 9, verse 10. Wa'adaf, wa'af, ha'adama, slaki, atha, wa'banyaka, wa'abadyaka, wa'haba'af, wa'haya, laban, adanyaka, lacham, wa'akolwa, wama ya shaf, ban, adanyaka, ya akol, samayat, lacham, al, shalakanya, wala taza ya ba'a, kama sha, aishar, bunyam, wa aisharyam, ibadyam. Verse 11. Why amar taza ya ba'a, all, Hamalak, Kakal, Ashar, Yatazawa, Adanya, Hamalak, Af, Ibadwa, Kan, Yaisha, Ibadka, Wama Paya, Shaf, Akal, Al, Salakanya, Ka'achad, Mabanya, Hamalak. Verse 12. Wama Mapayabashaf, Bun, Quatan, Washamwa, Mayaka'a, Wakal, Wamasham, Bayaf, Taliyaba'a, Ibadyam, Lama Paya Bashaf. Verse 13. Wama Paya Bashaf, Yashab, Bayar Washalam, Slaki, Bayarashalam, Jerusalem, Slaki, Kaya, all, Shalakan, Hamalak, Samayah, Wa'a, Akal, Wa'a, Pasak, Shafia, Regalia. This is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 10. We're reading verses 1 through 3. Wayahaya, Akaria, Khan, Wayamat, Malak, Bunya. I'm a one. Wayamalak, Kana one. Bunya, Bunwa, Sakafyawa. Verse 2. Waya Amar, Dawada, Aisha, Chasad, Ain, Chanafwan, Bun, Nakash, Ka'ashar, Aisha, Abayawa, Aimadya, Chasad, Waya Shalak, Dawada, Lana Kamwa, Bayad, Ibadyawa, all, Abayawa, Wayawa, Ibadya, Dawada, Arakasa, Bunya, I'm a one. Verse 3. Amarwa, Sharia, Bunyan, I'm a one, all, Kana one, Adunyahum, Hama Kabad, the Wada, Af, Abba Yakab, Ba'ayan Yakab, Kaya, Shalak, Laka, Manachamyum, Halawa, Ba'ai Aqua, War, Af, Ha'ayar, Wala Ragal, Wala Haka, Shalak, Dawadad, Af, Ibadyawa, Alyaka, and that's it. Now I'm going to be reading it in the English, 2 Samuel 9, 10 through 13, and then we're reading 2 Samuel 10, 1 through 3.
2 Samuel chapter 9, verse 10. Thou therefore and thy sons and thy servants shall till the land for him, and thou shalt bring in the fruits that thy master's son may have food to eat. But Mephibosheth, thy master's son, shall eat bread always at my table. Now Ziba had 15 sons and 20 servants. Verse 11. Then said Ziba unto the king, according to all that my lord the king hath commanded his servant, so shall thy servant do. As for Mephibosheth, said the king, he shall eat at my table as one of the king's sons. Verse 12. And Mephibosheth had a young son whose name was Micah, and all that dwelt in the house of Ziba were servants unto Mephibosheth. Verse 13. So Mephibosheth dwelt in Jerusalem, for he did eat continually at the king's table, and was lame on both his feet.
And you notice it right here that David did not wipe out Jonathan's line, because that's a lot of times what certain people do.
Right.
They would take out the line because his grandfather was a threat. So usually they would take out the whole line. This shows the kindness and the brotherhood of David, that he was, that he had the spirit of the Most High.
2 Samuel chapter 10, verse 1. And it came to pass after this that the king of the children of Ammon died, and Hanun his son reigned in his stead. Verse 2. Then said David, I will show kindness unto Hanun the son of Nahash, as his father showed kindness unto me. And David sent to comfort him by the hand of his servants for his father. And David's servants came into the land of the children of Ammon. Verse 3. And the princes of the children of Ammon said unto Hanun their lord, thinkest thou that David doth honor thy father, that he have sent comforters unto thee? Have not David rather sent his servants unto thee to search the city and to spy it out and to overthrow it?
That's it. All right, we're going to be continuing reading. We're going to be now reading 2 Samuel 10, 4 through 2 Samuel 10, 4 through 10 in the Hebrew.
It's like, if I could real quick, just reading off of that, like, he sent, servants there to Ammon, and they say, don't think he's just sending them here to be peaceful with us. You see what I'm saying? He's sending spies and stuff like that, so I'm telling you, showing you that Ammon, they've always had that spirit of war against Israel. You see what I'm saying? Don't make no mistake about it. These corner store guys and stuff like that, I don't care how friendly they try to come off, they friendly because they're getting our money. You see what I'm saying? But they are not for us. They are at war with us.
And Slack, if I can make a precept to that, is it Psalm 83 or 81? I always get a
83.
Psalm 83, the precept which says that Moab and Ammon have made war of confederate. Slack, go ahead, sister.
No, Ammon would be the Japanese. Moab would be the Chinese.
And they've all sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And they've always had hate towards us. That's why if you look in Psalm 83, when it talks about all the nations that have been confederate, means people got to understand, these nations don't like each other, but they'll join together to come against us. Mm-hmm. So like the Arabs and the Chinese, they ain't friends. They don't care for each other, but they'll unite together to come against us, which Psalm 83 proves. It says these nations are confederate against thee. Talks about Edom, Esau, that's pretty much the white man. They'll talk about Ammon and Moab, Chinese, Japanese. Talks about even the Africans. They don't particularly like each other, but they'll make a confederate group to come up against us. And this just shows the spirit of Ammon. because that's the spirit of and always has been when it comes to us.
If I could too, just real quick, like if you look at illegal immigration, American statistics, the East Indian and the Asian are the number 1 and 2 for illegal immigration in this country. But every time you hear of illegal immigration, they always go against our brothers, the Hispanics. You see what I'm saying? And they are like number 7.
Haitians,
you see what I'm saying?
Haitians as well.
Yeah, they go against anything Israel. But that's because they're confederate against each other. You see what I'm saying? So when ICE agents come through, they're not looking for them. Like when the last time you had a conversation with an Asian about political strategy, or you talk to them about who's the governor, who's the mayor of the city, because to them it don't matter. All they know is they coming to get their grants and they getting their bids to own them stores. Because they're at war with us. You see what I'm saying? And they're confederate with these other nations in destroying us. So we 2 Samuel chapter 10 verse 4 in the Hebrew. Or your quack, Hana 1, Ibadia, double da, or your galak, Katazaya, Zakwanum, or your karaf, Mada waya hum, Bakatazaya, I. Shathawath Yahum. Waya shall come. Verse 5. Waya Gadwa. The Dawada. Waya Shalak. La Kora Atham. Kaya. Hayawa. Ha'anashim. Nakalumyum. Ma'ad. Waya Mar. Hamalak. Shabwa. Waya Rakwa. I, Itazamak, Zakwanum, Zakwankum, what's your Bathum, verse 6, where your Ra'awa, Bunya, I'm a 1, Kaya, Naba Ashwa, Badawada, where your Shalakwa, Bunya, I'm a 1, where your Shakarwa, Arum, Waya, Rakawab, Wa'a, Arum, Tazawaba'a, Tazawaba'a, Aisharium, Alak, Regalia, Wa'a, Malak, Ma'ika, Alak, Ayash, Wa'ayash, Tawab, Shunyam, Aishar, Alak, Ayash. Verse 7. Waya Shemai, Dawada. Waya Shalak, Wa'ah, Kal, Atazaba'a, Hagabarium. Verse 8. Waya Taza'awa, Bunya, I'm a 1. Waya Iraq, Malakama, Bathak, Hasha'ar, wa Aram, Tazawaba'a, Rarak, Warakawab, wa Ayash, Tawab, Waba'ika, Labadam, Bashada, verse 9. Wa Yara'ah, Kaya, Hayatha, Alyua, Panya, Hamalakma, Mapunyam, Wama Akawar, Waya Bakar, Makal, Bakawarya, Waya Sha'ala, Waya Iraq, Waya Iraq, Lapura Aram, verse 10. Wa'a, Yathar, Ha'ain, Nathan, Bayad, Abashia, Akayawa, Waya Iraq, Lapora'ah, Bunya, I'm a one.
All right, we're going to be reading first 2 Samuel 10, 4 through 10 in the English. 2 Samuel chapter 10, verse 4. Wherefore Hanun took David's servants and shaved off half of their beards and cut off their garments in the middle, even to their buttocks, and sent them away. And they did that to put them, pretty much David's men, to shame. That was a way to shame somebody. Verse 5. And when they told unto David, he sent to meet them, because the men were greatly ashamed. And the king said, tarry at Jericho until your beards be grown, and then return. Verse 6. And when the children of Ammon saw that they stank before David, the children of Ammon sent and hired Syrians of Beth-Rahab, and the Syrians of Zobah, 20,000 footmen, and the king Maacah, 1,000 men, and of Ishtar, 12,000 men. Verse 7. When David heard of it, he sent Joab and all the host of the mighty men. And like I keep saying, when you look at David's life as a king, you got to be thinking of what Yahushua is going to do, Christ. Because a lot of people think that Yahushua is going to be coming and is going to be, you know how in the movies they have him just sitting there, and of course looking very soft and looking. Am I allowed to say homosexual? Is that allowed to say? Or
alternative lifestyle.
Alternative lifestyle. Okay. You know how they make Christ look in the movies. And that's not the type of man Christ is. Christ was from Nazareth. Nazareth was pretty much the hood in that area. And Christ is not going to be coming off as a soft man when he returns. And you see how David is. He's got an army. Christ is going to have an army, and they are going to conquer these nations that have come against Israel. And one of those nations is Ammon. Okay, we got Ammon, we got Moab, we got Edom. We got a few of them that the Christ, when he returns, he's going to humble these nations, because these are the same nations that have plotted against Israel and have taken a plot to destroy Israel. And like Commander General says, people can forget, but the Most High does not forget. He does not forget. Just like he did not forget his promise that he made to Abraham concerning us. All right?
And if I could too, like this is something foreign. The Christian church teaches that God is all love, that you just got to forgive. And, when it comes to everybody crimes against you, unless it's us, we hard against us. You see what I'm saying? Like, we unequally yoked and we all this, and we can be so judgmental with each other. But when it comes to these other nations, we got to forgive and we got to forget, everything. That was back in the day. Let's all try to be one family. We all bleed red, and all that nonsense. You feel me? This is the spirit of the Lord right here.
Right.
The Lord does not forget, and the Lord will take vengeance, and it's not going to be he's not going to be just in the daisies field walking and talking. You feel me?
Right.
They can say it's going to look like his garment was, dipped in what's the name? In a wine press. You see what I'm saying? That's how much blood he's going to have on it when he come back and take vengeance for our nation. You feel me?
It's like, so if I can add too, and that's one of the reasons why he has many crowns, because he takes the heads of those other kings. That's why it says there's many crowns, because Christ actually takes the heads of those other kings. Because historically, when you took somebody great, took their head off. That was the proof. Actually, King David did it with Goliath. He cut Goliath's head off. That was your proof. They didn't have what is it? What do we have now?
Social media.
Social media. That was your proof. All right. Verse 8. And the children of Ammon came out, and they put the battle in array at the entrance of the gate. And the Syrians of Zobah and Rahab and Ishtar and Maacah were by themselves in the field. Verse 9. When Joab saw that the front of the battle was against it before and behind, he chose all the choice men of Israel and put them in array against the Syrians. Verse 10. And the rest of the people he delivered into the hand of Abishai, his brother, that he might put them in array against the children of Ammon. All right, that's it. All right, we're going to continue reading now. And folks, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask. Just let people. Come, sis. Sis.
But it's about you.
Go ahead, sis.
I know a lot of people
Come.
When I was reading it, right, I was reading Revelation that for some reason, I can't remember what word, but I remember that he was saying that when he was going to destroy Edom, that they would be able to destroy tents, Noah, and the desert. So then I started wondering, like, well, these people are living in the desert, like, who is it? So I've been trying to figure out
Come.
who live in the desert.
Come.
That's where he's going to destroy it. So that's what they were there. So I'm like, who are they?
Oh, so you want me to?
Oh, you can say.
All right. So you have to. So when you're reading the scriptures, you want to take it in historical context, and you got to look at the characteristics of Edom to understand who Edom is. Like the children of Israel today, the way to identify them is you got to look at the characteristics how the Bible describes them. Now, the reason why it talks about Edom in the desert is because if you think about Edom, Edom has never really had a home on land. If you think of the characteristics of Edom, they've always came and conquered other lands. That's why if you look at the word Caucasian, it really means cave dweller, because they really just roamed around. And if you look at the history, and they took over other people's lands. Now, if you look at the characteristics of Edom, let me give you a precept.
Genesis 25.
Slacking?
Genesis 25.
You want to go there, sir?
Yeah, I mean, that's where.
All right, well, let's look at Genesis 25.
No, you can get your precept if you want.
All right, we're going to go to Genesis 25, too. Genesis 25, and let's look at 25. All right. Let's go back to the beginning where Jacob and Esau were pretty much. When you're reading the Bible always paints a picture of who, and he's giving you the characteristics of this individual when he's painting a picture. So if you look at Genesis 25, verse 25, this is I always get them mixed up. It's Rebecca. I think Rebecca. I always get Rachel and Rebecca mixed up. But if you look at Rebecca's the one that had the twins of Jacob and Esau. Now, if you look at verse 25, it says, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. And they called his name Esau. Okay? Now, the Bible right there is painting a picture of, well, first of all, the characteristics and the look of Esau. The reason it describes Esau like this, because Esau looked different than what everybody else looked like.
Right.
That's why it says he's hairy all over. That's why, you think of the caveman. That's why you think of how the caveman looked, hairy all the way. It looked like an anomaly almost when Esau came out. Notice they didn't describe how Jacob looked, because Jacob looked normal. And they said he came out red all over. Okay? You think about the white man, especially when he gets what is it? Angry. He's red. He gets very red. Okay, very red all over. And also, if you look at Revelation, it describes the dragon. You remember what they said the dragon was? How the dragon was? You remember they said the dragon was red. If you want to, I'll go. Well, no, it says how the dragon, because it's making a correlation between Esau and this dragon, which represents Edom. Okay, and I'll pull it to you. It's in Revelation 12. But it says he first came out and it was red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And the Bible is also painting a picture because it's showing later Esau would have the characteristics like a beast. Now, what does a beast do? A beast goes and devours, conquers. Yeah, and that's been Esau's characteristics, especially towards Israel. I'm going to pull that for you. And then it says, verse 26, and after came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. And it says, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter. Esau was a hunter. Nobody on this planet hunts more better than the white man. The white man is the most skillful. Oppressor, slide. Oppressor. Okay, the oppressor is the most skilled hunter on this earth. Actually, I think Jeremiah Hyman showed it that the oppressor, he starts learning to hunt around the age of 4. A lot of them will start hunting and getting their deer at the age of 4 years old.
Yeah,
so,
real quick, if I could, it's a cunning hunter, which means it's one thing to hunt, but he's cunning with it. Like he actually have noises that he make. Like what's that? Duck Dynasty.
Come.
They got a whole season, a whole business off of whistles that they blow and that sounds like ducks. You see what I'm saying? When they say cunning, this is what it's talking about. Like they make noises to sound like animals in distress, so other animals can come and things like that. You feel me? He's been a cunning hunter from his inception. You see what I'm saying? That's what the Bible is showing us right here. You feel me? You go ahead, bro.
And then it says in verse 20, 27, he was a cunning hunter. He also was like he's crafty. A man of the field. Okay? Man going out and conquering. He's the man of it. That's why if you look at Revelation, it talks about the serpent. I mean, not Revelation, Genesis. The serpent was the most subtle beast of the field. He's crafty. You think about all that the oppressors done with the Native Americans, and what he's done to black. He's always been crafty in the way he's done it. He's always been subtle. Okay, these are the characteristics that show that. And it says, and Jacob was a plain man. Now, also, if you want to look, I'm going to go to Revelation 25 really quickly, just to give you a correlation. I'm not Revelation, not 24, Revelation 12. I'll just give you a correlation. You look at Revelation 12.
Which 12? What you want?
We're going to look at 12 verse verse 3. We're going to look at Revelation 12 verse 3.
I'll read it.
Come on, sir.
Revelation chapter 12 verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head.
The great red dragon. There's a correlation here of how Esau was in Genesis 25, and then you got this great red dragon. And the reason he's a great red dragon because it talks about it's showing that Esau has a lot of comrades and alliances, and has a lot of alliances. Shalom.
So the alliance. So 7 years part of
the 7 heads and the 10 horns. Yeah, this talks about all of his armies, his messengers, his angels, all and the line that came after him. Because Esau also had a line of people. Like Herod was part of Esau. Herod was an Edomite, and then you had all those Herods, Herod the Great and Herod. That's all represent Esau. They were a line, and they were actually kings in Israel because they were set up by Rome. Okay, and so that's describing it. So all of his companions. Okay, and so that is showing who Esau is now. Also, if you want to look, if I'll give you a chance to read the whole book of Obadiah, it gives you another characteristic of Esau because it talks about his hate towards his brother Jacob. And what group of people have always hated us? That's how you can correlate who Esau is. And that's why it says the Most High wants to destroy him because it says the violence you've had towards Jacob. That's the whole book of Obadiah will give you the characteristics of Edom. Now, the reason it talks about the desert as well is because you got to think of where Edom was dwelling at the time. So that's what they'll use characteristics of the time to paint a picture about in the desert or where he came from or where he was dwelling. But looking at it for today, you got to look at what is the characteristic that the Bible is painted of Esau. I know there's some groups that will say that Esau is I can't remember what they'll say Esau, but it doesn't fit the characteristics of who's been hating and violent against the blacks, Hispanics, and natives nowadays. That's been the oppressor.
And real quick too, Esau and Edom is the same exact family. They the same people.
Right. Is that is Edom like a town?
No, that's the people as well. Like so, you have Esau and Edom. They're essentially the same people. It's just you calling that's like saying you Judah and then Israel.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Y'all are Israelites. You see what I'm saying? Edom is nothing but it's Esau is Edomites.
Okay.
Come.
You feel me?
Yeah, it's just another way to say it. And I think if I'm not mistaken, that's another name from it's actually Genesis 25 verse 3, and it's verse 30. It says, Esau said to Jacob, "Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint." Therefore, his name was called Edom. So Esau and Edom are interchangeable. Okay. All right. I hope that answers your question. And if it does, we can definitely get into it. Come. And then, like I said, if you have to, we can discuss it even more. All right. We're in think we were. Oh yeah, we're still in Second Sam. Oh, was that still reading?
No, we finished reading. We should be in the fifth one. We're gonna call them.
Okay, we should be. Oh, I think we didn't do that. Do we do the English?
Yeah, we kind of
11 through 17. We do 10, 11 through 17.
That's the fifth one, right?
Come.
No, we ain't do that one yet.
So we didn't read it in English.
We ain't do the Hebrew.
We didn't do the Hebrew. Okay. All right. Let's go to 2 Samuel verse.
Yeah, let's call them.
Oh, come. Amaya, which means to stand. It's just us up here. Mathan, Shakari, present thyself.
Shakari, present thyself.
No.
Matham Shakaria, Banya Hawada, Banya Sha'al.
Matham Shakaria, Banya Hawada, Banya Sha'al.
How about Shimei Shaka with the thumb?
Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Thumb. Yeshabim, which means to return. Let's read, we're going to be reading 2 Samuel verse 10, chapter 10, 11 through 17. We're going to read that in the Hebrew first and then in the English. 2 Samuel chapter 10, verse 11 in the Hebrew. Let's lock it. Yep. Okay. All right, 2 Samuel chapter 10, verse 11. Waya Amar, Fakazak, Aram, Mamanya, Wahayatha, La Ya, La Shawaiha, Banya, I'm a one, Zakak, Yakazakwa, Mamka, Wahalakafia, Lahawashatless, Lahawashayai, Lock, verse 12, Chazak, when I saw Kazak, by Aid, I'm now, Waba Aid, Arya, Alahayanawa, or Yahweh, Ya Aisha, Hatawam, Ba'ayamyawa, verse 13, where you gosh, Dawa Abba, Yawa Abs, like it, Baha'ain, Ashar, Ainwa, Lamala Kama, Ba'arum, where you Naswa, Bapunyawa, verse 14, Wabunya, I'm a one, Awa, Kaya, Nas, Arawam, so like Aram, it's like it. Where you Naswa, Mapunya, Abayashya, where you Awa, Ha'ayar, or you Shab, where you Abba, where you Ab, Ba'al, Bunya, I'm a one, where you Ba'ab, Yarashalam, verse 15, where you were Aram, Kaya, Nagat, Lapanya, Yasha'ala, where you Sak, wa Yakad, verse 16, where you Shalak, the Aizar, where you Taza'a, Aram, Ashar, Ma'aibar, Hanahar, Wayaba, Kayalam, Washawab, Washabak, Shar, Tazaba, Hadadaizar, Lapanyaham, verse 17, Wayagad, Ladawada, Sab, Waya Asa, Af, Call, Yasha'ala, Waya Ibar, Af, Hayaradan, Wayaba, Kala'ama, Waya Irakwa, Aram, La Korata, La Kora'af, the Wada, Waya Lam Kumwa, Ainwa, and that's it. We're now going to be reading in the English, 2 Samuel 10, 11 through 17.
2 Samuel chapter 10, verse 11. And he said, if the Syrians be too strong for me, then thou shalt help me. But if the children of Ammon be too strong for thee, then I will come and help thee. Verse 12. Be of good courage, and let us play the men for our people and for the cities of our God. And the Lord do that which seemeth him good. Verse 13.
And Joab drew nigh, and the people that were with him unto the battle against the Syrians, and they fled before him. Verse 14. And when the children of Ammon saw this, that the Syrians were fled, then fled they also before Abishai, and entered into the city. So Joab returned from the children of Ammon and came to Jerusalem. Verse 15. And when the Syrians saw that they were smitten before Israel, they gathered themselves together. Verse 16. And Hadazer sent and brought out the Syrians that were beyond the river. And they came to Helam and Shobach, the captain of the host of Hadarezer, went before them. Verse 17. And when it was told to David, he gathered all Israel together and passed over Jordan and came to Helam. And the Syrians set themselves in array against David and fought with him.
All right. Let's now we're going to be reading 2 Samuel 10, 18 through 19. Then we're going to jump over to 2 Samuel 11, 1 through 5. Come.
Was the 18 and what?
18 through 19, and then we're going to jump over to 11, chapter 11, 1 through 5.
Come. 2 Samuel chapter 10, verse 18. Wayanas, Arum, Mapunya, Yasha'ala, Wayaharag, Dawada, Ma'arum, Shabai, Ma'awa, Rakab, Wa'arabayim, Allah, Parashium, Wa'ab, Shawabka, Shar, Tazaba'awa, Hakah, Wayamah, Shum, verse 19. Wa'awa, Kal, Hamalakium, Aibadia, Hadad, Hadadizar, Kaya, Nagatwa, Napunya, Yasha'ala, Wayashalamwa, Yasha'ala, Wayabadwa, Wayara'awa, Arum, Lahawashayai, Aiwad, Bunya, I'm a 1. 2 Samuel chapter 11, verse 1. Wayahaya, Latashawab, Latashwabath. How does that?
That sounds like 12.
Hashanah, La'aith, Taza'ath, Hamalakum, Wayashalak, Dawada, Yawa'ab, Wa'ab, Aibadyawa, Aimwa, Wa'ab, Kal, Yasha'ala, Wayashakathwa, Bunya, Aimwa 1, Wayatazarwa, Al, Rabah, Wadawada, Yawashab, Bayar Washalom. Verse 2.
Yerash Shalom.
Yerash Shalom.
Mr. Jerusalem.
Wayahaya, La'aith, Ha'irab, Wayaquam, Dawada, Ma'al, Mashakabwa, Wayathayahalka, Al, Gag, Bayar, Hamalak, Wayara'ah, Ashah, Rakatazah, Ma'al, Hagag, Waha'ashah, Tawabah, Mara'ah, Ma'ad, verse 3. Wayashalak, Dawada, Wayadarash,
La Asha, Waya Amar, Halawa'a, Za'a, Ba, Shabai, Ba, Alaya Ain, Asha, Awaryaha, Hakathya, verse 4. Yeshalak, Dawada, Mala'akaya, Mala'akayam, Malakiam,
Come.
Waya Poka, without Wa'a, Alua, Waya Shakab, Aima, Wahaya'a, Mother Quadash,
Come.
Mother Quadashta,
Come.
Mata Ma'at, Mata Ma'atha, with the Shab, Awa, Yatha, verse 5. Ayatha,
Come.
what? With a heart, Asha, with a Shalak, with a God, with Dawada, with a Mar, Hara, Anakia. That's it, right?
Come. Now going to be reading 2 Samuel 10, 18 through 19, and then 11, 1 through 5.
2 Samuel chapter 10, verse 18. And the Syrians fled before Israel, and David slew the men of 700 chariots of the Syrians, and 40,000 horsemen, and smote Shubak, the captain of their hosts, who died there. Verse 19. And when all the kings that were servants to Hadarezer saw that they were smitten before Israel, they made peace with Israel and served them. So the Syrians feared to help the children of Ammon anymore.
And if I may. And this is another thing that people are confused about. When they say servants, they mean slaves.
Right.
And Yahweh Shai, people, this is a hard thing for people to accept of the truth. When Christ returns, there were going to be servants of Israel. Just like we are servants and slaves to this system,
Right.
They're going to be servants to us. All right, just want to add that. All right, we're in 2 Samuel 11, 1 through 5 in the English.
2 Samuel chapter 11, verse 1. And it came to pass, after the king was expired, at the time when kings go forth to battle, that David sent Joab and his servants with him, and all Israel, and they destroyed the children of Ammon and besieged Rabbah. But David tarried still at Jerusalem. Verse 2. And it came to pass in an evening tide that David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself. And the woman was very beautiful to look upon. Verse 3. And David sent and inquired after the woman. And one said, is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite? Verse 4. And David sent messengers and took her, and she came in unto him, and they lay with her, for she was purified from her uncleanness, and she returned unto her house.
All right, I'm going to say something. Oh, we'll finish. I'll slack if you mention it.
Verse 5. And the woman conceived and sent and told David and said, I am with child.
Okay, so this is where both of them were in error here. Both David and we know the story about David and Bathsheba. David was in error because he took another man's wife. That's where he was in error.
Right.
He took another man's wife. Now we're going to see that now David, the Most High had actually blessed David with not just one wife, but with wives. But David was in error here because that woman did not belong to him. She took another man's wife.
Right.
Bathsheba was in error because she slept with another man that was not her husband.
Right.
Okay, so that's where they both were in error, right here. All right, go ahead. So go.
So she definitely was really, because that's what I was doing. Like, because he sent someone so that she literally came.
Now here's another thing that David. Okay, so David actually would have known who Bathsheba was because she was the granddaughter of one of his men. I got to remember who it was, but she was the granddaughter. So David had known who she was probably, or she had been since she was a young girl. But of course, now she saw she was a woman. And now when he inquired, I don't know if maybe he saw from a distance or, at the king's, isn't this not so-and-so? But David would have had knowledge of it, like, and he sent for her. And yes, it wasn't that she was like, well, she slept with him willingly as well. It wasn't like she was forced. No, she was in error because she slept with David and she had a husband.
Hey, so like, if I could, to you, remember, like these are brothers and sisters that we're talking about. You see what I'm saying?
Come.
Like, you see sisters right now. You feel me? Like, they may have a man, but they see somebody more attractive or somebody with a higher status. You see what I'm saying? They be willing to go. You see what I'm saying? But the problem is, like Rob was saying, she had a husband, and that's why she was, and that's why she was an adulteress. And David, knowing that she had a husband, that's where he was wrong. But here in the UPK, a man can have as many wives as he wants. You see what I'm saying? So like him having another woman is not an issue at all. He could have had 10 other women. You see what I'm saying? And been still righteous in the sight of the Lord. But the fact is, if a woman has a husband, she's off limits.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. You said it's taking another man. That's taking another man. That's something that belongs to another man. And actually, we're going to even see that the Most High, when he talked to David, he said, I gave you women. This is the Most High saying that. And, we've debated people that said, well, the Most High intended for, the Most High said, I gave you. He said that to David.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue. This is the last one. We're going to read Second Kelly. You good? Okay. I was trying to get Kelly up here at some point. All right. We're going to read. This is the last one. 2 Samuel 11, 6 through 12. We're going to read in the Hebrew. Come. We're leaving 11, 6 through 12. So
2 Samuel 11, verse 6. Or your Shalak, that would die. Oh, that would Shalak, Aliyah, a warrior, Hakathia, or your Shalak, Yawa a warrior, that would die. Verse 7. Or your Ba'a, a warrior, Aliyah, or your Sha'ala, that would die. The show, the Shalom,
come.
Yawa Wala Shalom,
Come.
Ha'ain, Wala Shalom, Hamalak, Ma,
Come.
verse 8. Or Yamar, that would die, a warrior, Radah, of a Yathka, or a Katazar, or Golyaka, or Yataza'ah, a warrior, Mabayah, Hamalak, with a Taza'ah, a Karyawa, Masha'ah, Hamalak, verse 9. Or Yeshakab, a warrior, Bathak, Bayah, Hamalak, Kal, Ibadya, Adunyawa, Wala Yerad, Yeradah, Bayahwa, verse 10. Or Yagadwa, La Dawada, La Amar, La Yeradah, a warrior, Bayahwa, or Yamar, Dawada, a warrior, Halawa, Madarka, a third, Madarak, a third, the water. Ba'a, Madawai, La'a, Yeradath, Al, the Yafka. Verse,
Verse 11.
Verse 11. Wayamar, Awaryaha, Al, Dawada, Ha'arawan, Wayasha'ala, Wahayada. It's like, it's like, Wayahawada, Yashabyam, Basakawa, Basakawa, Wayadunya, Yawa'a, Waibadya, Aidunya, Al, Punya, Hashida, Kanyam, Wa'anya, Abawa'a, Al, Bayahya, La'akal, Walashaf, Walash, the Wa, Walashaf, Walashafwa, Walashakab, Ain, Ashafya, Kayaka, Wakaya, Napashka, Aisha, Adabar, Hazah. Verse 12. How far go down?
Just 12, sir.
Wayamar, Dawada, Al, Iwaryaha, Shab, Bazah, Gum, Hayawam, Wamakar, Ashalakak, Ashalakak, is that what it is? Ashalakka.
Oh, no, yeah, Khan, yeah, Shalak, Khan, yeah.
Ashalakka. Wayashab, a warrior, ha. Bayar, Bayarashalam, the water. Bayawam, Hahawa, Wamamakar, so Wamamakara.
Excellent. All right, we're going to finish it off today of 2 Samuel 11, 6 through 12.
2 Samuel chapter 11, verse 6. And David sent to Joab, saying, send me Uriah the Hittite. And Joab sent Uriah to David. Verse 7. And when Uriah was come unto him, David demanded of him how Joab did, and how the people did, and how the war was prospered. Verse 8. And David said unto Uriah, go down to buy thy house, to thy house, Salakia. Verse 8. And David said to Uriah, go down to thy house and wash thy feet. And Uriah departed out of the king's house, and there followed him a mess of meat from the king. Verse 9. But Uriah slept at the door of the king's house with all the servants of his lord, and went not down to his house. Verse 10. And when they had told David, saying, Uriah went not down unto his house, David said unto Uriah, camest thou not from thy journey? Why then didst thou not go down unto thine house? Verse 11. And Uriah said unto David, the ark in Israel and Judah abide in tents, and my lord Joab and his servants of my lord are encamped in the open fields. Shall I then go into mine house to eat and to drink and to lie down with my wife?
Hold on 1 second. 1 second. I'll let you get this.
As thou livest, and as thy soul liveth, I will not do this thing. Verse 12. And David said to Uriah, tarry here today also, and tomorrow I will let thee depart. So Uriah abode in Jerusalem that day and the morrow.
And as we can see here, David was actually trying to be slick, because he was going to try to get Uriah to go into come back from war and actually sleep with his wife, so that that it would make it look like that the baby was he was trying to cover up. So pretty much he was trying to cover up his error right here. He was trying to be real slick, and try to cover up what he did, the error that he made here. And so next time we'll see that that the Most High sees all, and that David did not get away with this sin.
Right.
And as righteous as David is, he the Most High did not give him a pass.
Right.
He did allow him to live, and that one shows out the Most High is merciful. Any other questions? We do have a couple minutes. Any questions about? Anybody have any questions? Any questions, comments? All right. With that, I might just keep on here. I'm gonna write. I'm telling you, I'm becoming a pro saxophone player now.
La Yasha Allah.
Me up.
All right. Oh, of course that went down.
I get it.
Men of Israel, Imanium, just the men. Men of Israel, gird up thy loins and prepare to salute the Torah. Yahweh Hashem Yashab Rakya.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Rock, yo.
Wait, try it again, not to up. Yep, not to up. Do it again.
No, the rock on your chest.
On your chest.
Now I understand.
Other hand.
Yahweh,
Hashem,
Shin,
Yahweh Shah,
Yahweh Shah,
Barak,
Barak,
yeah.
Yah.
Good job. Yeah. Good job.
Let's stop.
Amadium, Wapanya, Hakwadam, which means rise. We're going to face the east. 1, 2, 3. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew and then in the English. The Lord's Prayer. Abanaw. Shabbat Shemayim. Wadah. Ayah. Shukah. Yahweh. Allah Wafka. Taba'ah. Ayah. Aisha. Ba'aratazah. Kawah. Ayah. Shemayim. Nathanaw. Lakam. Call. You want. Wasalakanaw. Kawatanaw. Salakanaw. Wala'ah. Let's say one. Ball. Abashayna. Ayad. Right. Ayad. Lakab. Malakwa. Ha'ala. Come on. And in the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. Forgive us our debt. As we forgive our debt. Lead us not to temptation. Deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. This is the power. Yahweh. Hashem Yahweh.
Baba Kushah.
The thunder now.
A cut. Cut.
Larpa, Call Maka'ala, Call Madawa, Cut. That's a heart.
That's a heart.
I'm a Tazariah.
I'm a Tazariah.
A cut. The Haki. A Mafia.
A cut.
Arakawa. Hatama'ala. The Garishan. Bashim Yahusha. Wadaman.
And in the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the leper. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirit. Cast them out. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be.
This is bless Israel. Yahweh. Bashim Yahusha. Raklanau. Yasha'Allah. Wahabiyah. Sapari. Barak. The gun. Bashim Yahusha.
Wadaman. And in the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh. Bless us. And Israel. And the school. Bless. Heal. Shield. Protect. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be.
This is the blessings. Barakatah Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Wa Yahweh Shah. Wa Miyaka
Allah.
Wa Alahayim. Matizab Yahweh. Alawat Yahweh. I surrender. Hakwatazayanya. Hakayayawi. Waha Akwatya. Yahweh. Bashim Yahusha.
Wadaman. And in the English, bless you, Yahweh. And Yahweh. And Mike. And the angel. The man in Jimmy Yahweh. The general. The captain. Officer. Troop. And the sister. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be.
This is Psalms 121. Aisha,
Ayanya.
Awahari, Ma'ayan, Isaiah, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Wa'aratasa, Ayathan, Mamawat, Ragonka, Oyanawam, Shamarka, Ana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yekishan, Shawamar, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tizolka, Ayat, and Yakab, Yamamam, Ashamash, La'ah, Yakab, where you rock, where you love, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Korah, Yashamar, Afnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'aka, Wabu'aka, Mayatha, I will
Aman. And in the English, I will lift up my eyes to the hill. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth, even forevermore. So be.
This is Psalms 83. Alahaya. Adam Yalaka.
Al-Thakarash. Al-Shakwat.
Yahana.
Yabyaka.
Hamayawan. Shanayaka.
Nasha'awa.
Ra'ash. Al-Imaka. Ya'ariyamba. Sawad.
Wayatayatazawa.
Al-Tazapawanyaka.
Amara.
The Kawa. Wanakaki. Magoya.
Wala'ah.
Yasakar. Shanya Sha'al. Iwa. Kiyah.
Wa'ayatazawa. La.
Yakadwa.
Ayakad.
Riyah. Dakarafwa. Holier. Adawam. Yashama'a Aliyam. Wa'adaria. The ball. I'm a one. I'm a lot. For the shot. I'm Yeshabi. Says war. Gum Ashawar. Nalawa. Imam. Ayawa. Zerawad. Labanya. Salah. Aishalaham. Kamadi. Kasa Yasara'a. Yayabi. Banakor. Yashma.
Yasha.
and Shemagwa,
And Shemagwa.
by Yandara,
By Yandara,
Ayawa,
Ayawa.
the man,
The man.
Adama,
Adama.
to Yathamba,
To the thumb.
that the Yapawa,
To the Yahuwah.
Kara,
Kara.
because the Abba,
Because the Abba.
because the Ba,
Because the Zak.
because the Zolmanai,
Zolmanai.
told us that you come,
Come to say you come.
Rashad,
Rashad.
Amarwa,
Amarwa.
Rashad,
Rashad.
Lalawa,
Lanawa.
Ah, Nawa,
Nawa.
Alahaya,
Alahaya.
Alahaya,
Alahaya.
to Yathamba,
To Yathamba.
the Gagla,
The gold.
the Quash,
The Quash.
the Punya Rakah,
Hungerika.
Ka'ash, the Ba'ira Ya'ira,
The Ba'ira Ya'ira.
Galahaba,
Galahaba.
Galahat,
Salahat.
Arya,
Hari.
Khan,
Khan.
the Radat,
The Radat.
Basa Iraka,
Basa Iraka.
who was the Paka,
Who was the Paka.
the Bahalam,
Bahalam.
Bala'ah,
Bala'ah.
Panyaham,
Panyaham.
Balawan,
Balawan.
Wayabaquash,
We have a question.
Shimka,
Shimka.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa.
Yabaholwa,
Yabaholwa.
and Ya'ai,
And the eye.
Wayakapara,
Wayakapara.
Wayabadwa,
Wayabadwa.
the Iowa,
We are Iowa.
Kaya,
Kaya.
Thug,
Thug.
Shimka,
Shimka.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
the Badka,
The Bud.
Ayawan,
Ayawan.
Alcor,
Alcor.
Ratazat,
Ratazat.
Aman.
Aman in the English. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
Be not still, O Yahweh.
Be not still, O Yahweh.
For lo,
Lo,
thy enemies make atonement.
thy enemies make it tumult.
They that hate thee.
They that hate thee,
have lifted up the
have
head.
lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel
Against thy people.
against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden
And
ones.
insulted against thy hidden
They
one.
have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
and let us cut them off.
let's cut them off.
Being a nation,
Being a nation,
the name of Israel,
the name of Israel,
may be no more remembered.
may we no more remember.
They have consulted together
They have consulted together.
with one consent.
One consent.
They are confederate against
They
thee.
are fettered against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom,
The Tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Israelites,
of Moab,
of Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
Hagarenes,
Gabal,
Gabal,
and Ammon,
Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
the Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
the inhabitants of Tyre.
Asher is also joined with them.
Asher also joined with them.
They have hope in the children of
They
Lot.
hope in the children of Lot.
Salah,
Salah,
who unto them,
who unto them,
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
Sisera,
Sisera,
Sutrabed,
Sutrabed,
the brook of Kasar,
Brook of Kasar,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth,
And the became done for the earth.
making their nobles like a red,
And the nobles like a
and
red,
like the head.
like the head.
Yea,
Yea,
all their princes,
all their
and
princes,
Sabah,
as a bar,
and as the moon,
and as a woman,
who said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us think to
the
ourselves,
house of Yahweh,
the house of Yahweh in possession.
oh my power,
Oh my power,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as a stubble before the
as
wind,
a stubble before the wind,
as the fire burns the wood,
as fire burns the wood,
and as the flames set the mountains on
and
fire.
as the flames set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them,
So persecute
with thy tempest,
with thy temper,
make them afraid,
make them afraid,
with thy storm,
with thy storm,
fill their faces with shame,
fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let them be confounded,
let them be confounded,
in trouble,
trouble,
forever.
forever.
Yea,
Yea.
let them be put to shame,
Let them be put to shame,
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the Most High,
art the Most High,
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
So be.
So be it.
These are the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and earth,
and all things living.
in all things living.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh
in the
Shah.
name of Yahweh,
Listen to us now,
listen to us now,
right now.
right now.
Said evils and curses,
Said evils and curses,
punishment and destruction,
punishment and destruction,
to the heat
to the heat,
that speak against
that
us,
speak against us,
thy prophets,
thy prophets,
thy teachers,
the teachers,
the princes,
the princes,
the priests,
the priests,
the Israelite brothers,
the Israelite brothers,
and the school.
and the schools.
Said evils and curses,
Said evils and curses,
punishment and destruction,
punishment and destruction,
to the heat,
to the heat,
and shake loose the treasure
and shake loose the treasure
of the rich of Israel
of the rich of Israel,
that refuse to give to the school.
that refuse to get to the school,
Force their riches,
force their riches,
enter into thy
to
sanctuary.
enter into thy sanctuary.
Said evils and curses,
Said evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction,
punishment and destruction,
to the Edomites,
to the Edomites,
and the nation,
and the nation,
and their drug
and
dealers,
their drug dealers,
the court system,
court system,
the prison system,
prison system,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
all the governments of our enemies,
all the governments of our enemies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church,
the Pope,
the Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Egyptology,
Egyptology,
militia,
militia,
Ku Klux
Ku
Klan,
Klux Klan,
Aryan Nation,
Aryan Nation,
skinheads,
Skinheads,
Posse Comitatus,
Posse Comitatus,
the gay movement,
the gay movement,
the gay movement,
the gay movement,
the lesbian movement,
lesbian movement,
the lesbian movement,
lesbian movement,
spies,
spies,
workers of witchcraft,
workers of witchcraft,
national space program,
that's the space program,
armed, Navy,
Navy,
Air Force,
Marines,
Wall Street,
Wall Street,
open up the internet,
open up the internet,
and the airway,
and the airways,
the cable access channel,
cable access
and
channel,
the radio channel,
and the radio channel,
convict the spirit
convict the spirit
of any of thy people
of any of thy people
that seek to stop us,
that seek to stop
and
us,
bring swift
and
destruction
bring swift
to
destruction,
all the heat,
all the heat
that stand in the way,
stand in the way,
for trying to stop
trying to
us
stop us,
from broadcasting your word,
broadcasting your word,
throughout the planet Earth.
throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the planet.
Let loose all the plague,
Let loose all the
let
planet.
loose all the plague,
Cause them to go to and
cause
fro
them to go to and fro
through the earth
through the earth
and consume
and consume them.
Let the plague.
Let your plague
Shake the house of the thief.
shake the house of the thief
And the murder.
and the murder.
Let your house shine.
Let your house shine.
Michael and Gabriel.
Michael and Gabriel.
Come down with the flying sauce.
Come down with the flying sauce.
Punish all the evil.
Punish all the evil.
That come up against them.
Come up against us.
As we speak thy word.
As we speak thy word.
Because we know.
Because to be known
By all.
by all.
That is the angel.
That is the angel
That have done.
that have done.
Cause it be spread.
Cause it be spread
Through the media.
through the media
Throughout the whole world.
throughout the whole world.
Cause it to shake thy
Cause
come.
let the shakers that come.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be.
So be it.
Sar, which means to turn. Sister Yeshua, which means to sit. Come. This concludes the service.
Men of Israel, we're going to give a one courtesy salute to our teacher. Men of Israel, Mighty Shabbat, and Mighty Barak.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah.
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Barakatah.
Yadi Matah. Sa, which means turn. Sister Amadium, which means stand. You got yours, you ready? You good? Men of Israel, we're going to give a one courtesy salute to the sister. Men of Israel, Mighty Shabbat, and Mighty Barak.
Yahweh Shema Thamba Shem Yahushua.
Yadi Matah. Class dismissed.
Yeah, it goes go to the right.
Right. I know that. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
no, it's a key in that live from- Hey, I get that. I get that.